Hey up YouTube, Ryan Paul Troy, the Yorkshire filmmaker here, and today I'm going to be going through some editing cuts and editing techniques that you should all know and use on a daily basis, simple ones, and I'll also be giving you a few tips and techniques on how to do them. Before all that, roll those titles, boom! So yeah, welcome back to another episode of Back to Basics. Like I said, today I'm going to be going through editing techniques, and first of all I'm going to show you the standard cut. So this is the most basic cut. It's also known as the hard cut. It basically puts two clips together, connecting the last frame from one to the beginning frame of the next. This is most commonly used cut, and it doesn't really invoke any meaning or feelings as others do. This one's more like when I'm doing this and I'm just cutting from this to that. The next one is the jump cut. Now, this is a cut that pushes forward in time. It's normally done with the same frame of composition and used many times within montages. Now, the jump cut I do use quite a lot, especially in vlogs where I've messed up, and then it goes and cuts to the next part where I've not messed up, and it basically just, 1 minute I'm like, and then I'm like, and then I'm like. So yeah, it's jump cut, basically jumping time, but it uses in a montage, which takes us on to the next cut. Next editing technique is montage. So a montage is an editing technique that again signifies the passage of time. This helps give an overall context to the story with quick cuts. You'll often see athletes training or preparing for a big match. Rocky IV has 8. Rocky IV has 8 montages. Mental. But it can be really used for any transformation of a character, and it's normally underscored by music. So you'll have some sort of sad music going on, and then it'll be like, Dave has lost his friend. And then he goes and walks around, he drinks some booze, he sees his friend from over the other side. They haven't seen each other in 5 months. This time has passed in a montage. So yeah, montage. The fourth one is cross-dissolve. So cross-dissolve can serve several purposes and motivations within a story. It can signify a passage of time, or it can use for overlapping layers, and dissolves multiple stories or scenes happening at the same time. So basically they're happening at once, but within different times. The most famous example of this is probably Apocalypse Now. The next one, number 5, is a wipe. A wipe transition is one that uses an animation, mostly digital these days, that wipes the first scene away into the next scene. There's basic wipes, like Star Wars uses a lot of wipes, and there are more complex ones, but they are seen as very corny or cheesy, so don't use a wipe fade unless you're wanting to make it corny or cheesy. Then you've got fade in and fade out. So pretty self-explanatory. You fade in one clip and you fade out the other. This implies the passage of often like night to day switch, or someone falling asleep, but it can be a bit jarring if it's not used properly. You don't want to be using this type of cut for standard applications. You've got your JN and your L cuts. So your J and L cuts are incredibly common. They get their names from the clip inline in the editing and software. An L cut is used when you're wanting to have a waveform from clip A continue on to clip B, and a J cut does the opposite. So for example, when you've got you may have an interview, and you may have an interview. The interviewer saying a question, and then the interviewee starts answering the question. So when they answer the question, but it may still have a clip of a landscape, and then it'll slowly come into that. And that's basically the way these cuts work. The next one is cutting on action. So cutting on action. This is what it sounds like. You cut on the point of action, because what our eyes and brains are actually expecting when somebody kicks open a door, we expect to see the change in the angle when the door is kicked, not after it's flown open or swaying at the moment. So the door will get kicked, so that you'll see like the kick open, but then you'll be on the other side and you see the door. So literally you cut on that action. Cross cut, which is also known as parallel editing. Now this type of editing, when you cut between two different scenes that are happening at the same time in different places, so it can be great for adding tension to heist movies. So for example, you may have the police officer walking down the hall, and then somebody's breaking into a bank vault, and then they're getting closer and closer, and they've literally just got to the point where they need to get the door in, and then the guard coming around the corner to check the camera, and they have literally got into there. The guard gets to the camera, sees this is going on, and runs to find them. As he gets to there, they've gone. So it's just creating this tension and build up. So this is basically a parallel editing. The quintessential crosscut example these days is in Inception, since there are 4 levels of unconsciousness all happening at the same time. So literally the best use of this, and like I say, I'll say that again, quintessential crosscut. The match cut. A match cut is an edit that gives context and continuity to a scene and pushes a certain direction without disorienting the viewer. A very basic version of this is someone pulling open the door from the behind, then cutting to the opposite side as they walk through it. The most famous examples of match cuts are 2001 Space Odyssey and Lawrence of Arabia. Then finally, the invisible cut. You can really prove just how creative as an editor or how organised you are in pre-production by adding some invisible cuts in your video or film. The goal of these types of cuts is to make it look like it's one continuous shot. Invisible cuts were used to have an Oscar gold in Gravity, and there's also a main reason that Birdman appears so seamless is you can replicate this by filming frame by frame entirely with something black or low lit which goes in between the two and blending it then beginning to the next clip. Or doing something like a whip pan. This is a staple of Paul Thomas Anderson films. So here's a little bit of a clip from my old film's mission statement where I did a full cut of one full take, no cuts. So the list literally was scene shot for shot. So watch this.
Excuse me, so do you Zach Finch?
Yeah, I am. Who are you?
I'm Agent Josephine Walker, DSLR Homicide Division. Am I correct in assuming that you was on the Baranakovich case?
Yeah, I was. I'm not interested.
If you're not interested, then why do you still have your DSLR tracker? Zach, we need your help and expertise.
If you know about me, my expertise, and you know I've been off DCIU for some time, I'm not interested.
Zach, please. 2 things have opened on the case. Do you remember James Baranakovich?
What of it?
Well, he's escaped from prison, and to top it off, it looks like King Charlie's back on the street. Could really do with your help. If you change your mind, then please give me a call. Here's my card.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been the Yorkshire Filmmaker, and I hope you've learned some little techniques on this back to basic episode. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Enjoy, hit the like button, share if you please, and also hit the little bell button so you don't miss out on anything. And I will see you next time. Bye. Bye. Yes! The fourth one is cross dissolve. The fourth one is cross dissolve.